Alright, hello everybody. Name's BenjaminGlessner, COMM 110 speech. The persuasion speech here is evidence of the audience. Okay. Title of this speech is Gridiron Hero, Why the Quarterback Position is the Most Important. We're going to explain to you why the quarterback is the most important, the characteristics that they have that no one else on the field does, the fact that they're involved in every offensive play, they are the on-field generals of the team, and they are the face of the franchise, their impact in the business sense. Let's begin the speech with a little bit of history. According to whoinventedfootball.org, the game of football has been around since ancient times. The ancient Greeks played a form of football, they called it harpaston. The ancient Romans played a similar game, and their term for it was harpastum. And in medieval times, in Italy, the game was known as calico. According to the NCAA College Football History website, in 1609, football was first played in the United States in the colony of Virginia. It was mainly performed and played at the collegiate level, and in 1869, after a complete and total write-up of rules and regulations, the first intercollegiate competition occurred between Rutgers and Princeton, and college competition continues to this day. According to the NFLhistory.com site, the very first professional game of football was performed in 1895, or played in 1895, and that was the first professional game. It's gone through a lot of changes through the years. There has been a substantial change. It's become very big business, and currently it is known as the most influential sports in history. Additional information or general knowledge, if your knowledge of football is maybe not incredibly high, a good source of that to find out about football is the general NFL knowledge at yahoo.com. It is a website that talks about just general knowledge about football. For instance, describes how in football there are 11 players on each side of the ball, the defensive side and the offensive side, who compete against each other and attempt to stop the other side. So the defensive side of the ball has 11 players. Those players consist of defensive line, linebackers, and the secondary. Their job is to stop the offense. Then you have the offensive players. There's a total of 11 players. 10 of them consist of offensive line, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, and most importantly, your quarterback. So exactly what is it that the defensive players are trying to do? Their focus is to stop one player, the most important player of the opposing team, and that's the quarterback. So we mentioned at the beginning of our speech why we felt, or why we were going to talk about the quarterback being the most important. Tony Dungy, a Super Bowl winning head coach, is currently a sports announcer for CBS and for NBC. He has been very successful at developing football players and making them into franchise quarterbacks. He recognizes and knows exactly what it takes for the player to be successful and what makes him so important. He's identified specific characteristics that are necessary for a football player to become an elite franchise quarterback. He's identified the following characteristics: intelligence, poise under pressure, accuracy, mobility, arm strength, and touch. So exactly what do these mean? The intelligence that he's identified means that the quarterback has to have the ability to read the defense and find and exploit any weakness that they've identified. Very difficult to do. The only one on the field who's required to do that. Poise under pressure. This is the ability not to panic, to just be incredibly calm, to know when and what to do in the manner that it needs to be done for success. Accuracy. This is the ability of that quarterback to place the ball on target any place that will give his receiver the best chance to catch the ball. Mobility. What that means is that quarterback has to be athletically gifted enough to be able to be maneuverable enough on the field. He doesn't have to outrun everybody. He just needs to have that ability to move around in the pocket and actually buy time so that he can deliver the ball where it needs to be delivered to. Then you have arm strength. Arm strength is the ability to make all the necessary throws. Place the ball any place on the field, either short or long, so that his receivers can make the play. And finally, touch. Touch is that ability to either drill the ball 15 yards downrange into somebody's open arms, or to somehow thread it between 4 or 5 defenders 60, 70 yards down the field and have it drop into his receiver's arms. All of these characteristics are unique to the position of quarterback. That individual that has those characteristics will be successful, making him the most important on the field. Another reason we mentioned the fact that he's involved in the number of touches that he has per game or per play. Every offensive play, the quarterback is involved in. He's the only one. He is the only player that touches it every single time. And because he touches that ball every single time, he has the greatest influence on every single offensive play. He is the on-field general. He's the one that decides between a pass or a run. He knows, based on what he's seeing on the field, what that defense is going to do, and he knows which play is going to give them the greatest chance for success. And we mentioned that the quarterback position, what makes it so important is he's the face of the team, face of the franchise. So let's take, for instance, some successful quarterbacks. You have Peyton Manning, you have Tom Brady. They're known, their success is evident. Their success on the field has bled into the success for their teams on the business side of the process. Because they're known so well, the fans gravitate to that team because of the success on the field, and they start spending their money. They spend their money to go see him play. They spend money to go to buy their merchandise. They pay money to watch them on TV. Incredible income for the owners of those teams. So unique amongst all the other players, they're the only ones that have such an impact. So to summarize, the reason that the quarterback is the most important is they have a unique set of characteristics that no one else does. They have an effect on every offensive play. They are the on-field general for their team, and they are the face of the franchise. They're the Peyton Manning, the Tom Brady. They are the ones that help demonstrate success of their team. Thank you.